In Japan, if you enter a public restroom and the mirror fogs up for no reason, do not wipe the glass. If you do, you'll hear a whisper you can never unhear. There was once a high school student named Kaito who was known as the Ghost. Not because he was supernatural, but because he was entirely invisible to the world. Teachers forgot he was on the attendance sheet. Classmates walked right into him in the hallways, never apologizing, acting as if they had just bumped into thin air. He spent every lunch period sitting alone in the back of the class, screaming inside for someone, anyone, to just look him in the eye and say hello. But the world chose to ignore him. Day after day, his existence was slowly erased by their cold indifference. One rainy evening, Kaito suffered a severe asthma attack in the main hallway. He collapsed, clutching his chest. A group of popular students walked right past him. He reached out, his fingernails scraping the floor, gasping for help. They didn't even look down. They just kept laughing at a video on a phone, stepping right over his shaking hand. With the last of his strength, Kaito crawled into the dim restroom. He dragged himself up to the sink, staring into the mirror. As his vision blurred, he realized the terrifying truth. He had finally become completely invisible. He collapsed on the cold tile and died alone, staring at a reflection that nobody would ever miss. A week later, those same students were hanging out in that very restroom, joking around. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted. The air grew so cold their breath turned to mist. The fluorescent lights flickered, casting sickly green shadows across the walls. They looked into the mirror, but their reflections weren't moving. The glass versions of themselves just stood there, smiling horribly. Then, a pale, faceless shadow tore its way out from the center of the glass. Before they could even draw breath to scream, it snatched the voices right out of their throats, leaving them utterly mute. Now, they wander the school as hollow shadows, unable to be seen or heard by a soul. And as they slowly fade into nothingness, a chilling voice echoes in their ears. It's peaceful being invisible, isn't it?